Hi guys, it's Amber from Amber Eats Books, and I'm here today to do the book buying tag. I saw this tag on Maria's channel. Her channel name is Read, Create, Repeat, Homeschool. Kind of a mouthful, but it's a really great channel and you should definitely go check her out. I saw it on her channel. She had tagged anyone who is also in the midst of a book buying ban. So we're kind of torturing ourselves by answering all these questions on our book buying habits when we haven't bought any books in quite some time. For me, I have made it all of 2017 so far. So today is March 3rd. I have made it over 2 months without buying any books. So yeah, let's go ahead and jump into this tag so I can answer all of these questions about something that I'm currently not doing. Question number 1, where do you buy your books from? I buy the majority of my books used. So I buy them from like Goodwill or other thrift stores in my area. I buy them from library book sales, but there are occasions, books that I want to own that I haven't been able to find used, that I do go ahead and purchase brand new. And any brand new purchases I pretty much do on Amazon because I do not live close to a bookstore. I do have a very small independent bookstore near me, but their prices are very, very high. So I, unfortunately, with the kind of budget that I have, just cannot afford to shop there very often. I do go a couple of times a year and get 1 or 2 things, but I just cannot afford to shop there all of the time. Question number 2, do you ever pre-order books? And if so, do you do this in store or online? I definitely pre-order books, not many though. I only pre-order like Stephen King books or a book that is maybe a sequel in a series that I know I already love. I normally don't pre-order brand new to me books at all, because I've been trying to buy only books that I really love or by authors that I really love. So those are the only time I pre-order. I also pre-order some books for my kids. Brooke is definitely into these cute little kids series that I pre-order whenever I know that there's a new one coming out for that. But otherwise I don't pre-order too much. I mean, I probably receive pre-orders a couple of times a year. I mean, it's maybe a handful of times. It's not very often. I think I pre-order Disney movies more than I pre-order books sometimes, but hey. So yeah, I definitely only pre-order once in a while, but when I do pre-order, it is all online. I do it all on Amazon. Question number 3, on average, how many books do you buy a month? At the moment, 0. But I was towards the end of last year buying anywhere between 10 and 15 books a month. It was getting a little overboard. I mean, some months I bought less, but it was getting excessive, and that's why I put myself on the ban, because I have so many books on my shelves that I want to get through that I don't want to keep buying and keep buying and keep buying when I can read what I have here. So right now I'm buying 0, though I've given myself permission to buy books that I have already read and loved. Haven't really done that yet this year, though I plan on doing it when I go to my local library sales or whatever. If I see something that I know that I love, that I've already read, I will buy that. Or if it's by an author that I've already read and absolutely love and want to continue on, I will buy those. And I'm not putting myself on a ban for the entire year. I just had to put myself on a ban for a while. So I'm still going to be mindful of what I'm buying and try not to overspend and to try to utilize my library instead. So that brings us to question number 4. Do you use your local library? Absolutely. We are there at least once a week, whether we check out something or we're just visiting, doing crafts, you know, down in the children's section or whatever. We are always there, and it is probably guaranteed that we're always checking something out. Question number 5. If so, how many books do you borrow at a time? I am not sure what the limit is. I mean, we've had quite a few books checked out, like especially over the summer when my kids are home. All of us are checking out books individually, so we could have, I don't know, 50, 60 books at home at one time. But I don't know if there's a limit. There's a limit on how many DVDs we can check out, but I've never reached a limit on how many books we can check out. So right now, I think I currently have 10 or 11 things checked out. So that's probably an average amount of things to have at a library for me. Question number 6, what is your opinion on library books? I love them. I mean, they're really great. That you can check a book out. If you're unsure about it, you can bring it home and read it. And if you don't get to it or whatever, it's no big deal. You didn't spend any money on it. And they also support the author still by checking it out from your local library. So I feel like sometimes you can support an author twice because you can check it out, fall in love with it, and then go ahead and buy it. So I absolutely love library books. Question number 7, how do you feel about charity shop secondhand books? Obviously, I love them. I've already stated here that the majority of the books that I buy come from thrift shops or secondhand stores. So absolutely adore them. Question number 8, do you keep your read and TBR pile together on the same bookshelf or not? All of my books are just kind of randomly in these shelves behind me. I do have sort of a system, but yes, some books are read. Normally the ones here in the center case are ones that I've already read. But though there are a few more sprinkled throughout because I just couldn't fit them all on this one case. However, the books that I have on my current TBR, like my immediate TBR, the ones I'm going to get to within the next week or two, I don't even keep on these shelves. I take them off and I put them on a shelf in the living room, so I can go to it and pick from it, and I'm not overwhelmed by all of these books that I have behind me. So I keep those books there, and I keep my library books there. So they're in a separate place from the regular books so they don't get all mixed in, and I know where to go when I want to find something to read immediately. Question number 9, do you plan to read all of the books you own? Yes, someday. However, I feel like I will always have some books that I have not read sitting on my shelves. I just know that about myself. I'm probably going to never finish all of the books that I own. But my one goal this year is to read definitely a big majority. But my problem is once I read a big majority, that gives me full reign to go ahead and buy more books to add to the shelves to read. So yeah, it's kind of a weird relationship with me and my TBR piles here, but I definitely plan on reading them all at some point. Whether it actually gets done or not is a totally different question. So I'm going to combine questions 10 and 11. It says, what do you do with books that you own that you feel like you will never read or didn't like, and have you ever donated books? The answer is, if I feel like I'm never going to read the book or I didn't like it, I donate them. There's no reason to keep them on your shelves. I want to look at my shelves and be excited about what's on there, whether I love it because I've already read it or I want to read it so bad I can't wait to get to it. So those are what I think about when I'm looking at my shelves. When I look at each book, I'm like, do I want to read it? Does it seem to bring me joy? Self-help books there. Does it seem to bring me joy? And for the most part, everything on my shelf now absolutely does. There's a couple books that I have that are classics that I'm uncertain about whether I want to read them or not. But some of the editions are so beautiful, I don't want to get rid of those. However, once I do read them, if I really don't like them, I am going to go ahead and donate them. When I donate books, I donate them to either my local libraries, I have 2 that I could donate to, or I donate to a couple of local thrift stores. I don't really give books away, only because most of the people that I know in real life do not read the types of books that I read and probably would not enjoy them. The few people I know that would, I have given books to. So like if I read a book and I know my best friend will love it, like it's absolutely right up her alley, I will definitely go ahead and pass it along to her. But for the most part, I just donate them to local charities. And that concludes the book buying tag. I'm gonna go ahead and tag anyone else who's also on a book buying ban, because I think it's really helpful to sit down and look at your book buying habits and to see where you could improve a little bit here or there, or just to see how you go about doing it. Could you change something, such as maybe not keeping the books that you don't like or whatever. So I just thought it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to reflect on that. So anyone else who has told themselves they're not going to buy any more books for a while, please do this tag, because it's tempting fate, and I think that's hilarious. Anyway, have a great week and happy reading.